Hi, it's Bono1975, and today I thought I'd do something different for you. Using my PUBG footage as background, I thought I'd give you a war story. So what you're watching in the background is just me and Woody in a duos game on PUBG on Xbox One, and what I want to talk about is just a war story. This one is one that resonated with me, because when I was a child I was told about my great-grandfather, who was a guy who enjoyed World War I and was disappointed when it ended. He was one of the first out there and enjoyed the entirety of World War I and was disappointed when he had to come home. So this first war story is a guy that kind of reminded me of my great-grandfather. It was another guy that just embodied that British, nutty, eccentric, crazy spirit. This is a guy called Captain Mad Jack Churchill. You know you're in trouble when he's called Mad Jack. But Mad Jack Churchill holds the record for being the last guy to kill a guy with a longbow in a war. He went to the Second World War armed with a claymore, a longbow and a set of bagpipes, and he used to say that an officer was improperly dressed unless he had a sword with him. During the siege at Dunkirk, he stole a German motorbike, and what he would do is go out hunting with his longbow and then parade up and down the beach with the helmets of any Germans that he killed. He was proper barking. He'd served in the British Army for a long time, come through loads of different campaigns. I would highly recommend you look him up on Wikipedia or look him up in general, because he's a fascinating story. Totally and utterly balmy. He fought all over Europe. He had a long military service, so very decorated. There was an instance where he took a load of Germans prisoner just with his longbow. He used to lead his men into battle, just stood out in front of them playing the bagpipes. And I don't think the Germans wanted to shoot him because they just thought he was insane. Which wasn't far from the truth. He wasn't a young chap either. He was a grizzled veteran soldier. He'd fought for the British for a long time. So I thought I'd bring you this little peek into Jack Churchill. I'd like to say that he wasn't like some, office jockey of a soldier. This guy was out on the front line. He fought in the Parachute Regiment and the Commando Regiment. Was eventually captured. I think he escaped a couple of times. Proper, full-on, eccentric madman of an English soldier. I think you only get this with British eccentrics, just total balminess. And the reason he embodied the spirit of my great-grandfather was he was a man that was very disappointed with the end of the Second World War. His very famous quote, which I'll put up on a tile at the end, he was incredibly disappointed with the Americans for dropping the nuke and finishing the war with the Japanese, because in his mind the Japanese fighting spirit would have meant they would have gone on and on and on. And so he was very disappointed with the Americans for finishing the war quick, as you'll see from the quote. And that quote, when I heard it, it just resonated with my great-grandfather's disappointment at the end of the First World War. But that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this.